In humankind's search to sustain a healthy planet and provide energy for the world's growing population, we've attempted to utilize many energy sources. But there's a clean form of power being generated day and night, just waiting to be harnessed. It's called osmotic power, and it's a natural process as old as life itself. Like magnetism and gravity, osmotic power is constantly working unnoticed all around us, making trees grow and flowers bloom. But nobody's paid attention to it as an energy source until now. At SaltPower, our focus is to utilize osmotic power to generate energy. In nature, osmosis occurs on a micro level, invisible to the human eye inside cells. When the concentration of salt is higher outside the cell, water will naturally move through the cell's semi-permeable membrane in order to create an equilibrium in the salt concentration. This happens without the use of any energy on the part of the cell itself. These membranes can now be manufactured at an industrial scale. But how do you turn osmosis into electricity? Imagine two containers separated by a semi-permeable membrane, one side filled with salt water, the other filled with fresh water. The principle of osmosis means that water will naturally move from the fresh side to the salty side. This flow of water can be used to drive a turbine, which generates electricity. The higher the difference in salt concentration, the larger the energy output. So where do we find salty water? All over the world under the Earth's surface, there are immense salt caverns and salt lakes. Some of them large enough to fit 10 Eiffel Towers stacked on top of each other. These are already being used by salt factories to extract salt by pumping fresh water into the caverns, where the salt dissolves, creating very salty water, which is then pumped to the surface. A salt power plant can simply be added to these existing factories, and in principle anywhere there is salty water. Salt power is highly efficient, uses standard industrial components, and works 24/7. And most importantly, it is completely clean. There are no emissions, and the only waste product is salt water, the same stuff that makes up our oceans. Currently, there is more energy stored in salt than in all the oil deposits on the planet. It just hasn't been utilized yet. The power of osmosis is all around us, working in every living being. Who would have thought such a great force of nature is generated in a tiny plant, giving it the power to crack through the hard surface of concrete? At SaltPower, we are committed to making osmotic power the clean energy source of the future.